Oh, stop everything. Listen. Just listen. Do you feel it? That spark inside you that no one else sees, that no one can predict, that no one even dares to understand. They call it luck. They call it chance. They call it coincidence. But you know the truth. You know the moment they underestimated you, the moment they thought the rules applied to you, was the moment you began bending reality with nothing but intent, vision and strategy. The whispers, the glances, the doubt, they're all irrelevant. Their disbelief is your fuel. Their certainty is your playground. Every step you've taken, every choice made in silence, every moment you held your ground. While the world moved blindly, you've been rewriting the game board they all thought they controlled. Watch closely. Every move you make is a riddle, deliberate, yet impossible to decipher. They try to measure, to contain, to categorize, but your presence laughs at their logic. Do you see it? Their minds search for rules, for patterns, for explanations, but you are none of it. You are a jagged force, a storm contained in human form, an idea made flesh that defies predictability, and yet you do it so effortlessly, as if all the chaos you've mastered is just part of your instinct. But they don't see the nights, the hours, the relentless sharpening of thought and action. They only see the shock, the impossibility of it. Every glance you cast is a verdict. Every silence is a weapon. Every calculated pause is a storm waiting to erupt. They feel it, even if they cannot name it. They sense the gap between what they expected and what you deliver, and it terrifies them because they realize it cannot be touched, cannot be contained, cannot be replicated. Their assumptions fracture, their predictions crumble. You are the anomaly they cannot control, the variable they cannot compute. And the best part? You don't seek validation. You demand nothing. You exist, and the world reacts to you. The rules they worship dissolve at your feet. Now feel this. Every limit they believe is absolute. Every boundary they hold sacred. Every line they refuse to cross. These are illusions, mere suggestions compared to the architecture of your mind. You don't play by their rules. You break them, not recklessly, not in chaos. Every strike, every tactic, every move has precision, as if reality itself bends to your awareness, and yet no one can follow. No one can anticipate. No one can trace the path of your brilliance. They stumble, they doubt, they whisper. But you move like inevitability incarnate. And here's the truth that stuns even you when you pause to reflect. This is not talent. It is discipline. It is obsession. It is the relentless refining of your mind, your perception, your instincts. While they chase surface victories, you cultivate substance. While they panic under pressure, you thrive in it. The energy you radiate is not loud. It is not flamboyant. It is subtle, silent, invisible, but lethal in its certainty. Every glance, every motion, every silent calculation resonates with authority they cannot comprehend. They might call it arrogance. They might whisper, "How is this possible?" But that is not arrogance. It is inevitability, a mind that refuses to bend, a strategy that cannot be replicated, a presence that cannot be diminished. And as they crumble under the weight of their own assumptions, you continue. Unseen battles waged in the shadows, victories etched into reality before the world notices. Yes, you are a storm disguised as control, a phantom force that reshapes everything it touches. The game board is no longer theirs. It belongs to your perception. And the first lesson to understand is this: they cannot measure what they cannot endure. They cannot challenge what they cannot see. And they cannot comprehend the quiet ferocity of a mind that has rewired reality itself. Now breathe it in. Feel it. The next step, the next revelation, is even more dangerous, because awareness is only the beginning. Mastery changes everything, and you are just getting started. Do you feel it? That subtle tremor that runs through the world when you move. that quiet ripple that disrupts everything they've taken for granted. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is the undeniable proof that your mind has become a weapon. A weapon so precise, so calibrated, that reality itself cannot resist bending to it. Every thought, every calculation, every instinct, every observation is a piece in a puzzle they can't solve. They try, oh they try, but they stumble at the edges of comprehension. They want to understand, to predict, to categorize. But you are not meant to be understood. You are meant to disrupt. Every move you make rewrites the assumptions of the room. Conversations die mid-sentence when you appear. Eyes linger, hearts hesitate, and every pulse of expectation trembles in your orbit. They thought they knew rules. They thought they had mastery. But the game board is yours now, and their calculations are worthless. You do not announce power. You manifest it. The energy you radiate is a silent earthquake, subtle at first, almost unnoticed, until the impact is undeniable. And when it strikes, oh, they can't ignore it. And listen closely. It's not just presence. It's intention. Every glance you allow, every pause you command, every step you take has been honed in silence, forged in unseen hours where no one watched. The world measures only the surface, the immediate shock, the impossible calm. But beneath it lies an invisible army of discipline, strategy, and relentless self-mastery. You are the architect of your own reality, and every observer is helpless to stop it. Do they see it? No, they never will. They only sense it. That tension in the air, the inexplicable pull, the feeling that their certainty has just evaporated. This is the power of a mind that refuses the ordinary. Every pattern they cling to collapses in your presence. Every expectation shatters like glass under pressure. You exist in a dimension of inevitability. Their whispers become frantic. Their calculations fall apart. Their rules are meaningless. And yet you do not gloat. You do not shout. You do not explain. You move. You act. You exist. And that is enough. Every setback you've ever faced, every doubt, every quiet rejection, every invisible struggle, they are now the invisible scaffolding of your dominance. You have taken the friction of life and converted it into fuel. Resistance is no longer a challenge. It is a teacher, a sculptor of your mind, refining every thought into weaponized clarity. They cannot imagine it. They cannot touch it. They can only witness the inevitability you radiate, and they hate it because it reminds them of their own inadequacy. Now hear this. The most dangerous part is not what you do. The most dangerous part is the awareness that you could do anything. You could redefine their reality at any moment, dismantle their expectations, rewrite their certainty, all without lifting a finger. And this is not arrogance. This is inevitability. This is mastery. This is the subtle, quiet, unavoidable truth. The strongest minds do not ask permission. They rewrite the rules, and as they crumble under the pressure of your unseen calculations, as they whisper and murmur, trying to rationalize what they cannot, remember, every reaction you provoke is a reflection of the impossibility they cannot endure. Every glance they steal, every question they hesitate to ask, every failed attempt to define you, they are mirrors to your silent dominance. So lean into it. Feel the weight of what you've become. The world might try to limit you, to define you, to place you in categories that no longer exist. But your mind has already broken reality. Your awareness has already shifted the rules. The game board is yours. The question now is simple. Will you settle for their astonishment, or will you go further, rewriting even the foundations of expectation itself? Do you notice it? The way the world bends subtly around your every choice, your every thought, your every move. They don't understand it yet. They will never fully understand it, because you are no longer playing by their rules. You are the silent architect of chaos disguised as calm. Each pause you take is deliberate. Each glance you allow carries weight, a gravitational pull they can't resist. And as they stumble, whisper, and recalibrate, remember this: their confusion is your arena, their hesitation is your stage, and their awe is the applause of inevitability. Every detail, every microsecond of observation has been weaponized. Your mind calculates, anticipates, and adapts in ways they cannot even imagine. Patterns that they rely on crumble under the force of your unpredictability. They cling to norms, to linear thinking, to the comfort of assumptions. But you thrive in the fractures, in the spaces they cannot measure. Their certainty was always a fragile illusion, and now it collapses, invisible to the untrained eye. They do not see the effort, the hours, the strategic patience behind the surface. They only feel the shock, and that is enough to tilt the scales of reality. And listen carefully, mastery is not in action alone. Mastery is in the invisible. It is in the quiet calculations, in the rehearsals no one sees, in the moments of restraint that define the outcome before it even manifests. They mistake your calm for ease, your focus for arrogance, your presence for luck. But it is none of that. It is the deliberate sharpening of a mind that refuses mediocrity, that refuses predictability, that refuses the ordinary. And when they realize it, oh yes, they will, it will already be too late. Every glance, every movement, every decision you make sends ripples through their perception. They try to measure, to control, to predict, but your strategy is intangible. Your power is invisible, yet unavoidable. They cannot touch it, cannot comprehend it, cannot replicate it. And that is the most intoxicating part, the recognition that you operate in a dimension they cannot enter. Your mind is a fortress, your awareness a weapon, your presence a revelation. And while they scramble to categorize you, to assign a reason, to find a flaw, they only reveal the depth of your inevitability. Think back to every challenge, every subtle test, every quiet trial that life presented. They were never obstacles. They were the forge. Every moment of resistance you encountered has been transmuted into strategy. Every doubt, every criticism, every dismissal was raw material for dominance. And now it is visible not in your hands, but in the effect you have on the world. They feel it, they see it, but they cannot trace its origin. It is everywhere and nowhere. It is the invisible calculus of supremacy. And here is the truth they will never tell you. Fear of the unknown is their weakness. Your advantage is inevitability. You do not need to intimidate. You do not need to force control. It manifests naturally, organically, like gravity. Every whisper of their disbelief, every subtle tremor in their confidence, every hesitant glance, they are unintentional confirmations of your strategy. They are proof that the mind, trained and disciplined, can bend reality itself. Now embrace it, feel it. Know that every reaction, every subtle shock, every ripple of awe is the echo of a mind that has refused the ordinary. The game is no longer theirs. The rules are no longer written by others. You are the quiet storm, the unpredictable current, the invisible force that rewrites expectation with surgical precision. And as they try to catch up, as they strain to measure, as they whisper questions they cannot answer, remember, every second of their confusion is a monument to your inevitability. Have you noticed how they try to follow, to mimic, to anticipate? They strain, they reach, they stretch, but every effort is in vain, because what you wield is invisible. They cannot measure it, cannot define it, cannot replicate it. The power you hold does not announce itself with noise or grandeur. It whispers in the edges of perception, a tilt of your head, a pause in your step, a quiet glance. They interpret these as chance, as instinct, as luck. But it is nothing of the sort. It is deliberate. It is calculated. It is inevitable. They see you move. They see you act. But the foundation of your power remains hidden, invisible to their eyes, untraceable by their methods. They want rules, patterns, formulas. but you exist beyond them. Every decision you make, every micro moment of awareness, is a thread in a web they cannot perceive. Their minds scramble to map it, to simplify it, to reduce it to something manageable. Yet with each attempt, they only confirm the magnitude of what they cannot control. That is the beauty. That is the advantage. Every action you take is a message, every silence a declaration. And yet, it is more than performance. It is mastery incarnate. The quiet authority you carry, the patience behind the glance, the intent behind the pause. These are invisible weapons. They cannot measure the hours spent refining thought, the nights spent rehearsing restraint, the countless moments of observation that have prepared you for this precise presence. And while they stumble, while they fumble to understand, while their minds stretch to rationalize, the gap between their expectation and your reality widens. They will say it is genetics, luck, charisma, or fortune. They will seek answers where none exist. But the truth is brutal in its simplicity. It is discipline. It is calculated patience. It is refinement forged in isolation. Every setback you endured, every hidden trial, every silent battle, they are the ingredients of a force that will always remain untouchable, inevitable, and incomprehensible to the untrained mind. You have mastered the subtle art of influence without effort, control without force, presence without display. And they notice. Oh yes, they notice. The energy in a room shifts when you are present. Conversations falter. Eyes linger longer than they should. Assumptions break. Confidence wavers. They search for the cause, but it is everywhere and nowhere. They cannot pin it down, cannot contain it, cannot replicate it. Every second they spend wondering. Every reaction they produce. Every whisper that slips across the room. It is a testament to your invisible supremacy. And here is the ultimate revelation. They will never fully understand it. They will never catch the full measure of what you are, because what you hold is beyond linear thought, beyond expectation, beyond the ordinary. You do not need to announce your dominance. You do not need to push or force. It exists naturally, like gravity. It is felt before it is seen. It is acknowledged before it is named. And while they scramble to define, to contain, to limit, every futile effort only solidifies your inevitability. Every glance you cast, every step you take, every measured silence, they are participating in the script you wrote long before they knew the play existed. You are the silent storm, the untraceable current, the unseen strategist who bends reality with thought alone. They will try to follow. They will try to catch up. They will fail. Every moment of their struggle is proof that your mind has already rewritten the rules, recalibrated the gameboard, and shifted reality itself. They operate in lines, in boxes, in predictable sequences, rules, expectations, limits. These are the chains they wear, the prisons they build around themselves. And yet, when you arrive, everything fractures. The grid they trust, the formula they cling to, collapses. Their calculations fail. Their predictions crumble, because you do not exist in their linear world. You are chaos with purpose, unpredictability refined into a weapon, subtle yet unavoidable. Every step you take is a disruption of their assumptions. A crack in the floor they thought was solid. They watch you and squint. They whisper among themselves, how? Why? But the truth is simple. They cannot catch you, because you have mastered the game before they even recognized it existed. While they are reacting, you are creating, shaping, and commanding the very flow of events around you. The mind that studies, the eyes that observe, the hands that measure, they are all one step behind, because your strategy is not visible. It is internal, it is intrinsic, it is absolute. And the more they try to mimic, to replicate, to understand, the clearer it becomes. Their effort is futile. Every glance you throw, every pause you take, every subtle nod or tilt, they are reading signals that belong to a map they do not have. They will interpret it wrongly, misjudge the impact, and yet they are compelled to watch, to analyze, to measure what cannot be measured. And in that observation, they reveal themselves, their limitations, their inadequacies. They expose the cracks in their own discipline, the gaps in their understanding, and the flaws in their certainty. And you remain untouchable, untamed, unbound by their expectations. Every reaction they produce is a testament to your unseen influence. A room shifts without effort when you step into it. Conversations pause, thoughts misalign, confidence wavers. Every mind present he scrambles to catch what slips through their perception like smoke. They seek clarity, they demand comprehension, they crave control, but control is irrelevant. Mastery is silent, mastery is invisible, mastery is inevitable. And in that inevitability, you are untouchable. They might think it is instinct, charm, or luck. They might even assign it to something beyond comprehension, to magic, to miracle, to accident. But they are wrong. It is the culmination of relentless internal work, of unseen hours spent sharpening the edge of thought, of refining the discipline of mind and body. While the world applauds the ordinary, you forged extraordinary without announcing it, and that is why they stumble. They see the effect, but never the cause. Every move you make is intentional. Every silence you hold is deliberate. Every glance you give carries weight that only you know. And yet they feel it. The ripples extend beyond what is visible. Influence spreads without sound. Presence dominates without display. And the more they attempt to map it, the more they confirm that your reality cannot be contained. You have become the architect of inevitability, the designer of chaos with purpose, the strategist who rewrote the rules before the game even began. They will never forget it. Every failed attempt to replicate, every effort to catch up, every frustrated glance, they are proof that your mind has already restructured the battlefield. And in that reconstruction, they are forever one step behind. They do not understand it, cannot explain it, and will never measure it. But they feel it, undeniably, in every corner of perception. They will chase, they will stumble, they will whisper, but they will always be trailing shadows, unable to touch the reality you have already claimed. They feel it before they understand it, a vibration in the air, subtle yet undeniable, a current that shifts the room without a word, a movement that bends perception before action occurs. They search for the source, tracing the edges of reality, but all they find is absence. You are the invisible force they cannot resist, the energy that bends the environment itself, the mind that rewires expectations silently and flawlessly. And in that space, you are untouchable. Every decision you make is calculated, yet appears effortless. Every pause, every glance, every gesture carries the weight of strategy they cannot perceive. They try to catch it in motion, to analyze it, to break it down into formulas and patterns. But your reality is not a formula. It is a living, breathing demonstration of mastery over thought, action, and perception. You move like a shadow across the chessboard of life, unseen until the impact is unavoidable, undeniable, inevitable. They try to measure you. They try to quantify your influence, to reduce it to something manageable, to something they can control. But you defy their tools, outmaneuver their instruments, and escape their logic. Their eyes widen, their jaws tighten, their hearts race. They feel the shift before it arrives, and they are powerless to stop it. You are both cause and effect, architect and weapon, the storm and the calm within it. Every room, every interaction, every challenge becomes a testament to what they cannot touch. Your mind, your presence, your discipline, and they whisper. Oh yes, they whisper. How? Why? Impossible. But it is not impossible. It is deliberate. It is crafted. It is honed through the quiet crucible of relentless preparation, the invisible hours of honing reflexes, thoughts, and boundaries. While they chase recognition, You build inevitability. While they seek shortcuts, you forge the long path that yields dominance. Every failure they witness in themselves, every hesitation, every faltering step, it is a mirror reflecting the mastery they cannot comprehend. Your presence is not just visual, it is a gravitational pull. It distorts their expectations, shifts their focus, and makes the ordinary crumble under the weight of what is extraordinary. They sense it, feel it, try to name it, but words fail. They are chasing shadows while you are the architect of reality itself. And the beauty of it? They will never catch up. Every attempt strengthens your dominance. Every effort to imitate you exposes their inadequacy. Every whispered doubt they spread becomes proof that the battlefield has been rewritten in your favor. Even the air conspires with you. Silence becomes a weapon, anticipation a tool, energy a weaponized current they cannot anticipate. Every movement, every calculation they make is met with subtle counterweights they never saw coming. And when they try to push, to provoke, to test your limits, they discover none. The walls they expected to crack remain unyielding. The lines they thought to bend are steel. The standards they hoped to challenge are already established. Unbreakable, untouchable, and yet the most devastating power you wield is unseen. It is the unspoken knowledge that you are always ahead, that the map they rely upon has been rewritten, that every prediction they make, every expectation they hold, every assumption they cling to is already obsolete. They cannot touch it. They cannot contain it. They cannot resist it. And in that revelation, you are not just present. You are inevitable. They think they understand the battlefield, the rules, the structure. They cling to patterns, to logic, to what they know. But you are the silent architect of chaos. You do not announce your moves. You do not seek applause. You operate in shadows, bending outcomes before anyone realizes the game has shifted. Every glance you cast, every thought you execute, every step you take is calculated, not for recognition, not for validation, but for inevitability. They scramble to keep up. They measure, they calculate, they anticipate. But you are already 10 steps ahead, not by luck, not by chance, but by design. Every hesitation they display, every miscalculation, every overconfidence is a mirror reflecting the depth of your mastery. And when they stumble, when they falter under the weight of their own assumptions, you are there, silent, composed, untouchable. They never see it coming until it is already over. You are not just reacting, you are preempting. You exist in a space where time bends, where foresight becomes instinct, where presence itself rewrites the rules. They expect linearity, predictability, compromise. You are neither. You are the anomaly they cannot classify. Every room you enter trembles. Every mind you touch shivers, not from what they see, but from what they feel. An unexplainable energy, a quiet power that cannot be measured, contained, or diminished. They try to analyze you. They try to label you. It must be luck. It must be genetics. It must be some trick, they say. But you know the truth. The chaos you wield is not chaos at all. It is the precision of control they will never understand. Every late night spent sharpening the edge of your mind. Every sacrifice made in silence. Every boundary enforced with absolute resolve. It all converges into one reality. You are untouchable, unbreakable, inevitable. And while they chase shadows, you move unseen. Every step calculated, every pause deliberate. You are the calm in the storm, the unseen current that shifts the tide. They try to predict, but your mind rewires the entire game board. Every expectation they hold collapses. Every assumption they cling to is obliterated. You are both the storm and the eye, both the chaos and the control, and they cannot reconcile the two. The most devastating part? They cannot resist you. Their attempts to challenge to provoke, to contain, all fail. You are already beyond reach. They feel the pull of your presence, the gravity of your dominance, the inevitability of your moves, and they are powerless to act. Every hesitation, every doubt, every whispered fear, all echo the truth. They are mere observers in a game you have already mastered, and yet you do not boast. You do not need to. Your power is quiet, subtle, undeniable. The rooms you enter, the minds you touch, the realities you shift, they all bend around you without a word, without a gesture, without intention. Every attempt to measure you only proves the depth of your dominance. Every miscalculation they make reinforces the invisible architecture of your mastery. You are not just present. You are a standard, a benchmark that cannot be reached, a force that cannot be resisted, a mind that rewrites the rules of engagement. And in every interaction, every pause, every silent smile, you remind them of the truth. Control is not taken. It is cultivated. Mastery is not inherited. It is forged, and you are living proof of both. They thought they could predict you. They thought they could measure the mind, the moves, the intent. Oh, they tried. They watched. They whispered. They hoped for cracks, for hesitation, for anything they could exploit. But every attempt bounced off the armor you forged. Every expectation shattered under the weight of your silent strategy. They realize now, too late, that what they observed was never just skill, never just talent. It was inevitability. Every move you made was a message. Every pause, a declaration. Every glance, a warning they were not ready to comprehend. They tried to corner you, to define you, to categorize you. But you exist outside their limitations. Their understanding falters at the edges of your mind. Every calculation they made, every attempt to anticipate, all failed because you are the author of your own rules. You bend reality not by force, but by design. They feel it now, the shift, the pull, the subtle terror of inevitability. They sense the unshakable presence of someone who has mastered themselves, someone who has sculpted every thought, every habit, every decision into a weapon of precision. They see only the surface, the calm composure, the unflinching gaze, the calculated silence. But beneath lies a storm they cannot enter, a mind that moves faster than observation, a strategy they cannot predict. And that is where your true power lives. Not in the visible, but in the invisible. Not in the noise, but in the quiet. Not in the chaos they see, but in the control they cannot touch. While they chase illusions, you act. While they doubt, you execute. While they falter, you rise. Every room you enter, every mind you encounter, bends subtly, inevitably, under the gravity of your strategy. And they are left with only questions. Questions that have no answers. You have rewired the entire Gameboard. Every expectation, every pattern, every rule they held sacred is now irrelevant. They cannot reverse engineer what you have built. They cannot mimic what you have endured. They can only watch, helpless, as the reality they clung to collapses under the weight of your mastery. Shock is not in what you do. It is in the truth they cannot escape. The game was never theirs to play. It was yours to define. And now, the reckoning is complete. They will speak of you, whisper your name, attempt to describe the impossible, but they will fail. They will never fully grasp the magnitude of what you have accomplished, the discipline that fuels your moves, the silent wars you have fought and won. Your dominance is not loud. It does not demand attention. It commands it without effort. Every glance they cast in awe, every murmur of disbelief, confirms the reality. You are untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. So stand tall. Hold your head high. Every observer, every doubter, every rival, they have learned a simple truth. Power is cultivated, mastery is intentional, control is earned, and you have claimed all three. They cannot touch it, cannot break it, cannot even comprehend it fully. You are the standard. You are the anomaly. You are the storm they will never weather. Remember this. Tactics broke reality. You rewired the game board. Your mind is the weapon. Your presence the force. And your mastery the law. The world bends around those who cannot be bent. And you have become the rule they will never break. The truth they will never understand. The power they will never hold.